Sky Squad, we are back in the building. And of course, we got some quick hit news for you guys today. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell button, join the Sky Squad community by clicking the link in the description down below for extra content. Already, we've dropped 2 great videos. We got another one coming this week. So if you want to get that information first, go ahead and tap down in the description of this video. All right, let's get into the tea because I want to dive straight in and I got something else major I got to do for today. All right, so let's get into the Traitors, right? Remember we told y'all that, well, it had been reported that, NBC Universal was courting Monique Samuels to do the Traitors. Then it was revealed that they were also courting Candace Dillard-Bassett to do the Traitors, but ultimately all of that did not happen. And it ended up being Robin Dixon who was cast in place of these 2 ladies. All right. So Monique Samuels hopped on live last night and gave the tea on what was really going down for her on her end of the deal. So let's get into that courtesy of our friends over at Reality Chat. Let's take a listen to what she had to say.
Long. If they don't come back with something really soon and respond to whatever, raising their offer and give me some better numbers, then I'm not gonna be able to do it. And that's pretty much what happened. But then on the back end, I heard about some shady stuff that was going on. So apparently they were trying to put me and Candace from RHOP on the Traitors at the same time. I didn't know that she was pregnant. I didn't know that she was supposed to be on the show. And the only reason that I found out is because my manager is well connected. And we started finding out all of this stuff. And I'm like, first of all, that's low down to try to put a pregnant woman in that position. That's jacked up, number one. Second of all, I don't even know why a person that's pregnant would even do that show or want to do that show, because it's a lot of physical challenges and stuff in there. So I thought that was weird. But regardless, I'm like, why would you try to take something from a totally different show and try to make it something that, and I just was like, you know what, they're taking too long. It could potentially be very nasty. When I watched the first and second season of the Traitors, and I watched the other Traitors, like Traitors UK, all of that, it wasn't about their personal lives. It was more about just the show in itself. And if you get picked as a traitor and if you're faithful and all of that. And I thought that was so much fun. I actually was really excited about the opportunity and being able to do the show. But once I started finding out all of the shady shenanigans that were also going on behind the scenes, and they couldn't afford me. So I was just like, I'm not doing this. And then once I found out about all the shady stuff that was going on, I was like, you know what? Let them know that I declined not only this season, but every other season. Like, I'm not doing it at all now, because now you turned me off. And that is what you call boundaries.
So from what it's interesting because knowing Monique the way that I do, and I understand what she is saying. So let's think about it in this perspective, right? So let's say that you were in a bad relationship, right? Let's just for the sake of argument, let's look at a relationship. If you think back on a bad relationship or a relationship that ended badly for you, how much would it take for you to go back to that situation? And so when people question, well, why does she think that she has to be paid this amount? If you think about it from that context, how much would it take for you to go back to a situation that turned out badly for you, especially when you are thinking that it is going to be something else? Okay, so let's talk about it. Traitors is a completely different show, right? It's a completely different thing, true under the NBC Universal umbrella, but the premise is totally different from Housewives. And if you've watched Traitors, you will know that there are physical aspects to this show. So what she's saying, I definitely understood what she was saying. As a producer, I would not put Candace, who is expecting with her first child. That is a beautiful experience, in my opinion. So much so that if she wouldn't even do Housewives, expecting because of what was going on and what she had to do, that environment wasn't safe for her. And she's expecting So it's like, yo, like I would, in my mind, if I'm the producer, I would be looking at that situation like, no, like this is like, let her experience this joy and then come into something like this. And I most certainly would not put the two of them in a situation together when their issues have not been resolved with each other. I just wouldn't do it as a producer. That's just me. And so when Monique is saying, you know, well, you wouldn't, that they wouldn't be able to afford me, at that point, too, you got to look at it. Like she has been on reality TV twice. Both times she chose to leave because the situation wasn't right for her. So third time's got to be the charm at a certain point in time. The money got to be right, the circumstances got to be right. If the two of them don't align, then it don't make sense, right? So I definitely understood it from where she was coming from, but I know not everybody will. And that's okay. And that's okay. Because ultimately they did cast the show. They got Robin to do it. And this may be the best bet for Robin. Why? Because Robin will have an opportunity to interact in the reality TV space without the burden of being the bestie to someone who is clearly treated as the star of the show, right? That's no shade to Robin because I think that what we could end up seeing is a much more interesting Robin. So to me, I feel like this is probably the best decision if you are going to be trying to find someone from Potomac. If I think that if you do that, Traitors doesn't need the extra drama of putting Monique and Candace together at the same time. One or the other would have been amazing, right? Because the drama in Traitors is inherently built into the show. You don't need to add this extra mix to it that creates this extra tension that really probably won't work for either one of them. So I just didn't get it for me. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Okay. Now let's talk about the lawsuit of it all because we need to talk about Lisa to the Barlow. Yes, I am really anticipating the new season of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Salt Lake is, you know, is a fun show to me. It's a breath of fresh air because the drama is typically chaotic. But Lisa Barlow is being sued for $410,000 in unpaid loans for her, for basically, let's get into it. Let's just go ahead and get into it. So Herbita Tequila and Lux Marketing are all named as defendants in a lawsuit brought by a guy named Bart Carlson, who claims he's a longtime personal friend of Lisa's over loans he said that he made to her starting over a decade ago. Now, according to the story, and shout out to our friends over at Queens of Bravo and TMZ.tour, okay? Lisa came to him in 2010 and told him that she and her businesses were experiencing financial hardship and that she needed lots of cash to cover expenses. He then claims that he agreed to give Lisa the money, but didn't specify a time period for repayment because of his longtime friendship with Barlow. Let me tell y'all like this. Let me just be in case nobody has told you. Do not lend friends money unless you are prepared to simply give it to them, okay? Because ultimately, if they do not pay you back, if you do not have a time frame for which to get paid back or some type of system set up to do so, then you probably should count on never seeing that money. When a person is experiencing financial hardships, the hardest thing it is for them to do is to repay that money because they are so busy trying to get out of debt because being broke is expensive, okay? Now, I ain't calling the lady broke. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just in general, when you think about lending people money, I need for you to understand this quality of what happens to a person when they are going through and through and through and through and through and through, okay? So understand that before y'all start lending out y'all money, especially $400,000 worth, okay? Now, again, let me put allegations. Let me put the alleged stamp up here because, you know, she's got a response and we're going to talk about that real quick too. Now, over the next several years, beginning in May 2010 through February 2018, he says that he loaned Lisa, Vita, and Lux a total of $410. Well, 400, let's say $410,000. Okay. Now he says he's asked for this money over and over and over again over the last couple of years without any repayment. He says that every time he's asked for the money, Lisa has allegedly responded by basically saying there's no way for her or her companies to pay him back. And now he wants some help from a judge to get what he claims that he is owed. Now, I would assume that the burden of proof then becomes, okay, did you guys have a repayment plan? What was the agreement for the repayment? Because otherwise, if you don't have a stated or a documented plan or a statement indicating that she owes you this money and that you didn't give it to her as a gift, it could then be argued that this money was a gift and received as such. And then lo and behold, I mean, I wonder if you could have to pay taxes on that. Okay. When you give a gift like that, like, or is the, now I ain't an accountant, right? Because I'm just, now this is my caffeinated brain just working overtime right now. Now, does she have to pay the taxes on that money that was gifted? It was 2010. How did that work? Anyway, I guess we won't really know because ultimately, Lisa say not so fast. Okay. Lisa says not so fast, grass. All right. I got some things to say. She says Bart Carlson was once a business partner in a restaurant in Park City, and I thought a friend. I am deeply saddened that he has decided 9 years after our restaurant business ceased to claim that I owe him money. To be very clear, the claim that I owe Bart or his company money is untrue. I pay my bills and obligations, and I always have. I look forward to the truth coming out, and I intend to hold Bart fully accountable for any damage this personal attack may cause me or my businesses. Okay? So Lisa is letting it known, not so fast, grass. You ain't gonna do that to me, and I don't owe you no money. Okay? So I guess we'll have to wait and see how this plays out in the court system. Okay? Will this man get his money back that he alleges he's owed, or is he even owed any money at all? Time will tell. All right. Probably right in time for the season premiere of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. With that being said, y'all, I will catch you, of course, in the next video.